Hey folks, welcome to episode 1 of the Ruger 1022 build. And this episode's inspired by viewer B. You can look at the spelling on the screen, and he suggested that we were probably just going to squander our money with this build, with the exception of adding a great optic or a good optic on it. And you know, I thought about that a lot, and I thought, well, you know what, to owe what we can to Ruger, it only makes sense to put a good optic that we like on here, and then establish another baseline with the optic, compare what our accuracy did with the addition of such, and then go from there. So stick around and we're going to start. Now, part of the temptation would be to go way overboard and go big. And to tell you the truth, I am pretty tempted. I have a Leupold Mark AR 6-18 power scope laying around here. This one's a model number 115-393. It's a 6-18, and it is a very nice scope. It has very clear glass, and I think it would do really well on our build. However, there's a problem. Guess what? This costs about $500. And that's a big chunk of change. It may be worth it, you know. A 22 is, around my place, is one of the most used firearms. So if you got a firearm that you use the most, you would think logically that, hey, it deserves the best. But I also owe you guys what I really use. This is a stainless boat paddle 1022 that I have. And the setup that I have on here, I've used and trusted, and it works well, and it doesn't cost that much money. This is the BSA Sweet 22 6-18 series. This is a Tactical Solutions 15 MOA base that I have on top of here. This is just some cheap $10 Walmart rings. They work just well, just fine on a 1022. And of course this BSA Sweet 22 6-18 power. I like the 6-18 power because we shoot at small objects, ground squirrels. Usually your targets are a lot smaller. And so I actually have higher magnification on my 22s than I do on any of my other firearms. So we're going to stick to this, this intersection of value that I've tried and true and proven with this Sweet 22 setup right here, and we're going to put this on the 1022 build and try it out. So I'll get to mounting and then we'll go to the range. So I've got this BSA Sweet 22 6-18 by 40 set up, and I've got it sighted in, got it zeroed. It's mounted on a Tactical Solutions 15 MOA base. Now the benefit of that base is it's slightly thicker at the rear than it is the front, and what it does is actually cheats the axis of the optic downward, so that when I'm shooting at 100 yards, it's actually there's a 15-inch difference. So that allows me to use all of my range adjustment in my scope. So as you know, the arc of a 22 from 100 to 150 to 200 to 250 yards begins to resemble quite the rainbow, and so we need a ton of elevation adjustment. So this just allows us to cheat that up close, to bring that crosshair up towards the top of our range, and so later on when we're using this, we can fully utilize all of our adjustment there. It's a nice base. When you get the Ruger set up, typically they come with a little rimfire base, and you want a full-size Weaver Picatinny kind of a rail on there, and I think that's a worthy investment on a 1022 build that you plan on shooting quite a ways and stretching its legs. Now it's also worth noting that putting a high power scope, a high magnification scope, doesn't make the gun any more accurate. All it does is make the shooter really aware of how bad their rest is and how wiggly they are, and it will make you concentrate on getting as stable as you can get before you squeeze that trigger. So if we zoom in on that target with 18 power magnification any kind of jostling or moving of the rifle that would be invisible at 4-power is brutally apparent, and it can help you get stable and make sure that you are stable and on target before you squeeze that trigger. And it also helps because we just shoot small targets, typically sage rats, little vermin that need to be eradicated, that kind of thing. So aim small, miss small. And I've got this dialed up to 18 power. All right, so we got a 5-shot group. Let's go down and look at it. You guys can see it in the camera. So I remeasured the groups that we did from last week, and they came in at 1 3/8, not at 1 1/4 like I'd said, so it was slightly bigger. And we measure these ones, this group, at the broadest point. This is a 5-shot group instead of the 4-shot group. That's highly scientific, as you can tell. And we came in at 7/8. So we shrunk our group by a 1/2 inch by adding some magnification and then becoming more aware of any wiggle or bad rest, and taking that extra time to make a shot that we were unable to do or unable to see with that straight 4-power scope. So there's our new baseline, 50 yards, 7/8 group with the addition of the optic. And I'm looking forward to the barrel, trigger, and the stock all coming up. Once again, it's going to be a challenge to improve on this, but we like challenges, so stick around and stay tuned.